Thank you so much. And it's amazing what we're doing in the cell ag space around milk and dairy, because we were the first to really raise funds, go to market, raise funds and actually announce what we're doing. And what's exciting is we've actually built a category now. There's like several companies doing cell-based milk, and I think it's really wonderful. We need that. It really validates the type of work we're doing, and I think it's great for the entire space. So I'm really happy today to be here. Yes, it is 3:30 in the morning in the U.S., and I am super pumped. This is an exciting place to be, and I'm so happy that you guys are all on here. So I'm gonna go through our deck to tell you guys a little bit more about what is TurtleTree and why we're doing what we're doing. Everyone knows that 11% of all human-induced greenhouse gases come from cattle farming. 72% of that actually happens on the farm before the milk even leaves. So there's a huge unsustainable and climate change issue here that we need to all tackle. And TurtleTree believes that using our technology, we can have a major impact ourselves. The size of the market is really interesting because we hear a lot about seafood, poultry, beef, but many people don't realize just how big these markets are. Dairy is the biggest by far, and dairy includes everything from cheese, butter, creams, emulsifiers, ice cream, a number of different, even infant formulas. So all of that stuff, believe it or not, is all coming from cow milk. It starts from cow milk, and it ends up in all those different areas. And it makes up this largest segment in food. So there's so much, but this also means that there's that much damage being done as well. And that type of animal cruelty and unsustainable supply chains and so forth as well. So massive opportunity, also massive problem. How do we at TurtleTree create mammalian milk, cell-based milk? Actually, when we first built up our cell lines, we can actually get those cells right from freshly expressed milk. So any type of mammalian milk actually has living cells in it. And you can pull those cells out and you can harvest them, you can get them to multiply. And then we have a special, I guess, a cultured media, or this lactation media is what we call it. And that actually causes those cells to lactate or secrete milk. So what we're really doing is we're kind of mimicking the same environment that happens inside of the animal. And at the end of the day, we're able to extract all of the same milk proteins and sugars and fats and so forth that are in that milk. And that's really important because that allows us to get to the entire composition of milk. Because milk is very special. There's thousands of different components in it. It's not just casein or just whey. There's a number of different things in there, and they're all very valuable to be able to make a lot of these high-value products. Some of those products are very important for immunity. They're immunity boosters. They improve gut health, anti-inflammatory effects, and they even promote brain development. And I'll tell you guys a little bit more about, how, like all of these different benefits, but how. And that's going to be, that's very interesting. But first, let's talk about what are the challenges? Because some of the things that we can do is we can actually make milk from just about any mammal, including humans. And what that does is it opens up massive opportunities for infant nutrition. How do we optimize infant nutrition? And if you look at today, we're using cow milk and we powderize it and we put it into infant formula. Using this type of technology, we can actually change that. We can close that gap and we can provide infants not cow milk, but something closer to the real thing. People are willing to pay a premium for that. And some of those proteins that are in there are actually very, very valuable for human health in general, not just for babies. So this is where it's very interesting. As I mentioned, all of those benefits that I was talking about. So there are certain things that in milk, like lactoferrin, which is a protein that's found. There's human alpha-lactobumin, and then there's complex sugars as well. So these human milk oligosaccharides, they're very special sugars that can only be found in human milk, and they have profound health benefits for infants and even for seniors. It turns out there's a connection between the gut and the brain as well, and many of these sugars play a crucial role in helping to promote that health. So for TurtleTree, what we're looking at doing is showcasing a lot of these bioactive components, these complex sugars, in infant formula, as well as many other applications. And we're working with a lot of our industry partners across those different areas. But one thing you might notice at the top is growth factors. And growth factors is important for almost all cell-based food. Everything from cell-based chicken, beef, you name it. People need these different growth factors to be able to scale up this technology. And we've been hearing a lot about, at some point, they will have an environment where we'll have these things come down in price. Well, TurtleTree, we're already doing that. Earlier this year, we acquired a technology called Dyadic. Now, Dyadic has an amazing fungi strain that allows us to actually produce these growth factors that can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, but we can do those in the dollars per gram. And that is massive. And we believe that's going to help not just our company produce milk at a price point that we can take to market, but we can also help our other friends in the industry from cell-based chicken, beef, seafood, etc. as well. And that is what we're doing with TurtleTree Scientific, which we launched earlier this year. So growth factors is a big part of it. And as you guys can see, there's a lot of other applications, everything from dermatology to oncology. Why? Because those growth factors can play a crucial role across the board in many other areas. For TurtleTree, some of the key highlights and the key milestones, and back in 2020, it was a big year for us. We filed some patents, we've acquired some technologies, we've raised a pretty healthy amount of money as we continue to grow rapidly. We've had some amazing collaborations with A*STAR, our National Research Institute in Singapore. And our team grew to about 25. In 2020, that seems so long ago because now we've definitely got to a much larger size. In this year, it's very important for us because we launched TurtleTree Scientific. We're already sending out samples to customers, and we have some new product development that's happening. And we're going to be holding an event coming up later this year where we're going to be showcasing some of our early products that uses TurtleTree's technology. We are also working on a pilot plant, and by Q4, we're shooting for some early regulatory approvals around some of our early ingredients. And of course, commercial agreements as well, something we're working on now. Some of the awards we won the Livability Challenge this last year, the Temasek Foundation run. It was about 1 million Singapore dollars. That was amazing. And we followed that up with the Entrepreneurship World Cup. Out of 175,000 companies, we came in #1. We have an amazing team that helped do all of this. And we also won the Singapore Business Awards for Best Dairy Solutions. This is our incredible team. This picture is now old. I think our team has grown significantly, but every one of these people are rock stars. And that's where I think the value of our company is really. It's in these individuals that you're looking at. We're incredibly proud of everyone in here, and we continue to grow. These are some of our investors, everyone from Artesian, KBW, Lever out of Hong Kong, CPT, Green Monday out of Hong Kong, and we have many, many more. And we're very fortunate to have a lot of global support to help us continue to accelerate. Now that is the presentation. I would love to actually talk about a few other things, because one of the things that I wanted to talk about is commercialization around cell-based technologies. And this is where I wanted to just add some of my ideas and some of my thoughts around this. Uh, Regulatory is very important, and one of the things that's interesting is Singapore has become an amazing place to be if you're going to be launching cell-based foods, cell-based meat, and that is been very strategic for us, as even with the milk side. But if you're going to be looking to commercialize any of these cell-based products, always think regulatory first, because that can determine a lot of your strategy around where you set up operations and where you spend a lot of your money. Don't underestimate the process development process. That can take months, or it could take years. So always beef up on that part of it, because that's going to be very important to scale up. Finding really good co-packers and supply chain partners is super important. We can produce some of the cell-based meat, but once we get closer to commercialization, we got to start looking at all the right partners that we're going to be working with. And sometimes the existing partners that are already doing this are really interested in participating in this new area as well, because this is a whole new opportunity for them. Your go-to-market strategy, B2B, B2B2C, B2C, or even direct to consumer. None of these are wrong. I mean, we hear a lot about this where some investors we're only interested in this type of market strategy companies. But actually, if you're a founder and you're passionate and you have an idea, maybe you're just an amazing marketing person. There's nothing wrong with some of these other B2C or D2C type of approaches if that is what you're really good at. And we've seen really top plant-based companies like Impossible and Just, they all rolled out, by the way, in Southeast Asia first. And they rolled out in some high-end restaurants. They rolled out in Singapore and Hong Kong. So there's tremendous opportunities in Southeast Asia. Communicating and marketing the product that's easy to understand, ensure that it's safe, it's delicious, and sustainable. And probably stay away from laboratory type of jargon that might freak out consumers. So interestingly, we've been running some consumer research here in the US with some of our partners. And a lot of the insights that we are getting and the feedback that we're getting is that this product, the cell-based meat or milk products, might actually be more for the larger market. Massive opportunity. The vegans in general are not necessarily interested in cell-based meat. That's not necessarily a thing. That's what we're learning quite a bit from some of these studies. So keep that in mind when you're marketing some of this stuff. And we have to get outside of our echo chamber and understand how other people are thinking about this type of product. So just some high-level stuff for you guys to share with you guys. Looking forward to chatting with you more, Ahmed.